Hello, welcome back to 1885 show. Today is your Hull City pre-match warm-up. We say this every show, but only 60% of you watching this show are actually subscribed. If you enjoy the content and you want to show support, please give us a like and subscribe. This is wonders supporting the 1885 show to other Millwall fans throughout the algorithm. And whilst you're here, make sure you leave a comment and join in the conversation as well. We are very quickly closing on 500 subscribers. The fact that so many of you tune in every week and decide to spend your time listening to us talk nonsense about Millwall was quite frankly astounding. And we are incredibly grateful we're on support so far. But joining me today to take us through yet another playoff 6-pointers, we have Callum and Dan. Callum, how you doing, mate, after last week's big win?
I am fantastic, mate. I'm fantastic. We're in a good mood, boys. We're doing very well. So let's keep this going on Saturday, eh?
Hopefully, mate. I mean, and Dan, I'll come to you next, but it feels like the big games just don't stop, do they? It's thick and fast, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely coming thick and fast, all the games. It seems to be at the moment we're going through like playing teams around us a lot quicker now. Obviously, they like you say they're the big 6-pointers and they're the most important ones. Obviously, going up like trying to get us into that playoffs position, and hopefully, never know, we could actually get automatic into second. You never know. Some Middlesbrough could slip up, and I know Ipswich have got a game in hand over us, but I'm still hopeful we can get second.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And I mean, until it's mathematically possible, you've got to keep believing you, Callum.
Yeah, you do, mate. And then that's what we're all hoping for, isn't it? The games that we've got coming up are difficult. Let's not kid ourselves, but I mean, this is all the games that we live for. Do you know what I mean? I think if we've still got Ipswich to play away, we've still got Middlesbrough, we've still got the teams around us to play. So it's all to play for, isn't it? At the minute, if we go into them games believing that we can win and we go and attack the games, then why not? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think the boys have just got to keep believing in themselves, and they're doing fantastically well at the moment. It's all just about keep getting game at a time. And I think with Alex Neil in charge, we've got a man that, just focuses on the next game. He doesn't think too far ahead. He doesn't think about the last game, about the performance. He just cuts it down into small game by game. And that's what I think you need to do at this stage of the season.
No, I completely agree, mate. But speaking of the next game, Hull on Saturday, we're going to taking us straight into our first segment. We've got the tale of the tape. So, looking at the form table over the last 5 games, we've definitely got the edge when it comes to the current form. We've won 4, lost 1, whilst Hull on the other side, 2 wins, 3 defeats, not on fantastic form at all. I mean, interesting enough, both Hull and Millwall seem to have more joy away from home rather than actually at home. They've got the league's second best away record. I think we're in 4th. So just to give us a bit of a flavour for, we are both 2 good away sides. Millwall's home record, they're only 10th in the league if you look at the games they've played at home. But if you actually look at the league itself, this is about as close as it can get between Millwall and Hull. Millwall were in 4th after that Ipswich win midweek against Hull, funnily enough, and Hull themselves are down in 5th, so right on our coattails, just 2 points behind us. I mean, concerningly, this is where starts to go a little bit wrong for Millwall when you look at the tale of tape. In our last 5 games, Millwall have drew 2 and lost the other 3. So Hull very much have the edge in this fixture in recent years. Dan, it's going to be another huge game, innit? But straight after the back of games against the likes of Wrexham, Birmingham, Preston, and the boys just need to go again, don't they?
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a tight one. Hull ain't, like I say, they ain't a pushover team. Like I say, I watched a game against Hull, funny enough, when they played Ipswich, and you can see they're struggling a bit with injuries. But Millwall have been through that part as well before. But mid-season we had our injury issues, but it's still, look where we was in the table. We still managed to stay in the playoffs. But yeah, no, it ain't going to be. It's going to be a tight one, I reckon. It all depends who gets the goal, first goal, I reckon.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Touching on injuries, obviously, the last time we played against Hull, was discussing this off air just now, but we had no centre midfielders that day. A midfield combination of, I believe it was Reece Bangor Williams, Negley, and Alfie Doughty playing in like the 6. So we owe him a bit after that, I think, and some of the antics that went on in that game. But we haven't beat Hull since 2022. Callum, how are you feeling, mate? You confident?
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? I think it's probably a good it's a good time to play them. I think. I think with how we're playing at the moment, I'm definitely positive we can get a result. I'm just struggling to see whether it's going to be a draw or a win. I just think I mean, they've got some big players out. I mean, I think they've got like Pandor out, they've got Crooks out, Coyle, they've got Giles out, for Mayweather as well is out. So they've got a hell of a lot of...
Bellumi was exceptional in that first game. He won't be playing.
Yeah, he was good as well. Yeah, so they've got a fair few of their top players out. So that's probably given me more confidence going into Saturday than beforehand if the players were playing. But I watched them again, like Dan, I watched them against it as well, and I thought they were not great. So, but then again, they're a different team at home, aren't they? So, we'll have to see, mate. I think we've got the capabilities of going there and getting a result. Don't get me wrong, but it's going to be tough. I mean, every game's tough, especially when, you know, there's only 2 points between us and Hull, so it's going to be difficult no matter what.
No, I agree. I mean, you'd like to think that with the recent form we're in, having gone away to the likes of Wrexham, Preston, beating Birmingham comfortably at home, you'd like to think the boys are feeling good about their chances, particularly with them having a bit of a injury crisis. So,
yeah,
no, I agree with what you said. If we can't go with a little bit of confidence now and almost like sort of stake a claim for why we're definitely a top 6 side pushing on for the automatics, and it's probably not going to come easy. It does feel a little bit like do or die right now, doesn't it, I guess, for this fixture. But take us on to our next segment, the key matchups. It's worth flagging again that obviously because of the injury crisis, to try and actually get a handle on what Hull's 11 is going to be ain't easy at all. There's 3 matchups we've picked out because of the way Hull play, amount of goals they score. 2 of the ones that we picked out, both two of their strikers, and one of them is an injury crisis left back area that, you know, no one quite knows who's playing there for Hull. The first matchup we've looked at was Ollie McBurney versus Jake Cooper. McBurney's got 13 goals, 7 assists this season, and is a massive, massive part of how Hull City play. He's a proper number 9. He's been doing this level for as long as I can remember. He come off the bench last time at the Den and scored a goal and got the better of Jake Cooper for that header. So you're kind of looking at Jake to handle that situation, right? He probably has to do a little bit better than he did in the home leg. We know how good Jake Cooper could be on his day, and we need him to win that battle, don't we, Dan?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it was one of those tough ones that Jake Cooper had to go about with Ollie McBurn. Ollie McBurn obviously gives that physicality in hold up ball for the Hull players to get further up the pitch. But he, like I say, he can also score goals, as he's got 13. But I think it all depends. I think Jake Cooper, in his head and in his heart, he can take on anyone. He can defend from anyone. And he's been phenomenal for us throughout the whole season. Like I say, his aerial ability is great. Like, he always wins his headers. Sometimes you could say as he's getting older, he's lost a little bit of pace, but he still thinks he still going up against Ollie McBurn, he could have him in his pocket. But like I say, it's not going to be an easy one for him. Ollie McBurn's going to give him difficulties, don't get me wrong. But I'm sure Jake Cooper will do what he always does.
Sure thoughts, Callum, mate? Obviously, McBurney one of the Championship's best strikers, but coming up against an experienced centre-back.
Yeah, he's a top player, isn't he? I think we've seen him over the years score some important goals over his career. He's given us a few hard times scoring against us, hasn't he, over the years? So yeah, he's a top player. I mean, he's not, like Dan said, he's not fast, but he's intelligent. And he can get into a pocket of space. I mean, some of the goals that he scored this season have been quite brilliant, to be fair. So yeah, he's a top striker. I think with the likes of, you know, Kramer and Cooper at the back, I think we've got enough to handle him. I'm just worried about, players like Joe Gelhardt as well, that they've got up their sleeves as well, he's on fire as well. I mean, he's got 11 goals as well this season. So they've got some good players up front. So we just have to we have to just defend them and just deal with them.
Get on with
They've
it.
got some. Yeah, we just got. I think every team now, you come up against these proven championship strikers. But the boys we've played teams before, we've got proven championship strikers, and they've had nothing all game. So the boys just got to go there and do their job. And yeah, but he's a top player. But I think that Cooper and Cromwell together will handle him easily.
We can only hope, mate. But look, I'm moving on to our second mashup because you've segued me on nicely. I have a suspicion that Gelhardt won't start. I think he's obviously because of their injuries and stuff. I think they'll probably try and nurture him a little bit. I think Kyle Joseph, after his exploits at Den earlier in the season, obviously getting the brace, I think he'll probably get the nod on Saturday. And in my opinion, we have to look at Tristan Crammer to try and deal with that. Obviously, we know what Kyle Joseph's all about, right? He's a bit quicker, plays on the shoulder a bit more. He gave Taylor a torrid time in that game. Taylor just couldn't get near him. He seems to be one of them players that he could just, whenever he got the ball, he always had space. He always had time. Crammer's going to have to stand up, so right, we're going to be looking at him rather than Cooper. And how important is that one for us, Callum?
Yeah, it's important. I mean, he's a flair player, isn't he? He's just a flair player. I mean, he is a very good player. I think with the reverse fixture, I think we was at the stage where I believe that Taylor just came into the team, if I remember rightly. And I think that what it is that I think the back four at the time were trying to, get to grips with how each other play. And I think they were probably stepping back a bit more and allowing him to sort of drop deep a little bit and give him quite a bit of space. So I think Alex Neil will tell the players before the game, they'll look at the reverse fixture, what can they do better. And I think they'll probably bring the midfield back in so that they can drop in to help with the centre-backs a bit more, rather than leaving a bit of too much big of a gap between the defence and the midfield. Because I think that's key in this game. I think the defence and midfield need to be closer together, rather than if the midfield go up and then the defence is quite far away. Then obviously he can exploit them gaps between there. I think that's what he does very, very well. He sees gaps in between defence and midfield and then goes off. He's a very tricky player, but I think he's going to be tough. I think we need midfield to help.
No, Cam, I think you made a really good point, mate, because as I said, he seemed to have a lot of time and space. And maybe the reason for that is because of that depleted midfield in that fixture. Dan, what's your thoughts, mate? Do you think it's just as much about the midfield getting back and supporting rather than Tristan Crammer per se?
Yeah, no, I agree with what Callum said. I think the midfield have got to drop back and help as much as they can for defenders. But I still think between Crammer and Cooper, or if it's Taylor back in, who knows? I think they still do realise how tricky he is, and not just obviously not go about it and try and shut him down. So I think Cooper will, if he goes in, you know what Cooper's like when he goes rushing in and everything like that, he'll probably try and shut him down quicker before he gets the ball, or Kramer might do it, we don't know. But yeah, no, I think Alex Neil might put either, I think Billy Mitchell on him, a bit more like man mark sort of thing, because obviously Billy Mitchell's quite quick and he can come back as well. So yeah, it's, like I say, he's a tricky little player. He scored he scored 2 good goals against us at our grounds. But like I say, I feel at the moment, the way I'm feeling, I think any of our players can deal with any teams coming on. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
No, yeah, I completely agree, mate. But looking at the third key matchup we picked out, it was originally going to be Femi Aziz versus Louis Coyle. And then Louis Coyle got himself injured against Ipswich, so he's now not playing. He was replaced by Famwo, who is a centre-back that went out to left-back, and you then sort of look at that matchup thinking, that's great for Aziz, right, playing against a makeshift left-back. And then it turns out that it's come out and you said that Famwo's injured as well. So I have absolutely no idea he's going to be playing left-back for Hull, but it certainly won't be a left-back or recognised left-back. And the bad news is for whoever it is, they are playing against the Championship's best winger. So we are surely looking at that Femi Aziz versus whoever is playing out left back for Hull, that's got to be a battle that we're excited about, right, Dan?
Yeah, no, I agree. Whoever it is at left back's going to have a horrid time against Femi Aziz, because we all know what the capability of Femi Aziz has. He likes to run at players, takes them on, and like I say, when he wants to, he can cut in, cut out. And like last game he played, he made the left back look like silly. Like he was like jolting him all the time and whipped the crossing, and then obviously Kundal got that goal. But like Femi Aziz he's very hard to read. You know what I mean? So it must be hard for any left back to play against him, because you don't know what he's going to do. Sometimes you could get the ball and cross it in straight away, or sometimes, like I say, you can cut in and take a shot, or even like his link up. Obviously, we can see between him and Kramer when Kramer was playing right back, the overlaps. Obviously, it causes the centre back to having to follow that player, so it makes gaps for our midfields to obviously go in and have a dig at goal and thing. So yeah, I think, like I say, when Femi Aziz is on fire, which he has been all season, it's going to be difficult for any left back in the league, and he's proven that. So yeah.
Callum, what's your thoughts, mate? Femi is going to be licking his lips, ain't he, surely?
Yeah, I mean, without no recognised left back, it's definitely an area to exploit for them. Do you know what? I was reading on Twitter, obviously on our group chat that we have, one of the boys put on a little Twitter post about the players that are injured, and I was looking at the comments earlier, and I think it might be Regan Slater that fits in at left back. I think just from reading what the Hull fans are thinking, I think it's going to be Regan Slater potentially. I could be wrong, and this could go horribly wrong, but I'm going to go with Regan Slater if it is. But no, listen, I think we've got to exploit it. Obviously, like I've said this before, but we can't just always go to Femi on that right hand side when we attack. I think too many times this season we go to Femi and he makes something happen, because majority of the time this season Femi has been the one to create something and create that magic moment, like he did, the other day at home. He scored that belter, didn't he? So he's just popped up with really good goals and brilliant goals. So I think we need to exploit other areas as well, like on the left, depending on whether he plays obviously Negley on the left or Watson. There's just different avenues we can go down. We can't always go to Femi, but it's definitely an interesting little thing that the boys can have on Saturday, going into trying to target our left back area. But we don't want to do it too much to be too predictable.
No, you're right. It's almost one of them where you want to go down that right hand side. Hopefully they start shifting across and start to double up, and then we can just start attacking the other flank, almost man versus man.
Yeah.
And whether it's Watson, Negley, Alfie Doughty, who knows? But you almost fancy all of them. They're all tricky wingers, right, in their own little way. So you'd like to think with their injury crisis we could start to exploit them areas. But take us nicely into our next segment of the show. So, as normal, we'll be picking out two things that Hull do really well and two things where they kind of struggle, and just try and see how this matches up against Millwall's style of play. Starting with what Hull do well, going forward, they are incredible. They average 1.6 goals a game, which is amongst the best in the Championship for goals scored. In fact, I mean, no team in the league has outperformed their XG more than Hull this season. They really do sort of defy the stats with how many goals they score from how little chances they get. They are clinical when they do get a sight of goal. And a bit of a strange one here, but they're very good in the tackle as well. They're third in the league for tackles won per game. We saw this at the Den, they are an aggressive football team, aren't they? They get stuck in and they're up for it. And just kind of back that up, no side in the Championship has more yellow cards than Hull City this season. So they score goals and they're up for it in their aggressive side. Dan, it's got to be a concern, right? The Hull almost defy the statistics all season, but they keep doing it, so it can't be luck.
No, I agree. Like I say, they can be a very physical team. Obviously, like you said, with the bookings, the amount of bookings they've got. But then we're a physical team. Like I say, when we want the ball and we're quick on the ball, when shut teams down, we make teams look bad. Like sometimes they over panic. But like you say, it's Hull's up there for a reason, because obviously the play they play, like they like to play from the back and could try and control the midfield.
Yeah.
And then what they try and do as well is try and get balls out to the wide and try and whip the balls in as quickly as they can. Which, if they do that, then it's going to be a lot harder for them, because obviously you've got like Kramer or Cooper or Taylor and Cooper. So obviously, like, we got the aerial ability. But no, it's gonna be a tough one. Like I say, it ain't going to be easy, but I still have faith in Millwall.
No, I've got to say me too, mate. But Callum, what's your thoughts, mate? Obviously, as you just said, an aggressive football team. We saw it in the game at the Den. That I thought there were people always say this in a sneer way, and I don't mean it in a sneer way, but I thought there were sort of masters of the dark arts in that game. I thought they were very intelligent of how they handled the ref and that sort of stuff. What was your thoughts on Hull, mate?
Yeah, I think when you do the dark arts at Millwall, it's literally like it happens. Every team try and do that, don't they? Especially down at the Den. Cause us at home, it's so hard to get points at the Den, isn't it? So I thought they were very good to do the dark arts and all that sort of stuff when we played them at home. No, I just see it as they're sort of similarities to us, really, being aggressive on the front foot, pressing. They've got players that can score goals. Obviously they've scored a hell of a lot of goals this season. I think they've got like 46 open play goals this season. Not many set piece goals. I think they've got 5 this season, set pieces. So,
which is strange with McBurney aside. You thought they'd have more, wouldn't you?
Yeah, to be fair, when you look at their team, they don't really have a tall team, or feel like a tall. You look at our back line. We've got like Kramer, who's like 6'2", Cooper 6'5" or 6'6". Obviously Lenny, and you've got Doherty, and you've got players, Caleb Taylor, players like that. But I think that's an area we could probably potentially aim to get with our set pieces. We've scored quite a few set piece goals this season. That's something that I think we can focus on for the game. But yeah, I think, listen, they're aggressive, they're high pressing, but I think we've got enough. But we just got to match their aggressiveness. We can do that at home. We can, press high. It just depends for me. I think it depends on what formation they play. Whether they go, because sometimes they've been changing this season from a 3-5-2 to a 4-2-3-1 in some games. So like on midweek on Tuesday, they played a 3-5-2 against Ipswich. So whether they play 4-2-3-1 at home, they tend to play 4-2-3-1 at home. So I feel like Alex Neil might match that and then try and press them as well, because obviously they like to play out, and they're very possession based at home as well, which is another thing to look out for.
And to your point, one of the things that makes it difficult when a side does have that many injuries, what are you preparing for? No one really knows what they're going to play, because they're probably not 100% sure. And we've recorded this on Thursday night, and they're probably thinking, let's see who's fit, close to play Friday, right? And we'll go from there. But looking at what Hull don't do quite as well, they've conceded the 5th most amount of goals in the league, which is very strange for a side that's doing quite as well as they are to have conceded that many. Clearly, they're a side you can get at, and actually they are a bit vulnerable at the back. And then when you consider their keepers actually made the 2nd most saves in the league this season as well, where only Sheffield Wednesday have saved more shots on goal. So they concede a lot of goals whilst their keeper is actually pulling off a lot of saves. So they're defensively clearly a little bit frail. And one of the other things that really stood out for me was they actually average less possession than even we do. And we're not a possession side by any stretch of imagination. So, I guess the first question is, I'll go straight to you, Callum. That possession stat, they obviously don't have a lot of the ball, but is that even a weakness for them? Because we obviously struggle to break sides down when we're expected to have the ball and be more offensive.
Yeah, I was literally, because I was about to say that about the possession, because that was quite surprising to me that we have more an average possession than they do this season. It's only marginal though, isn't it? I think it's like 1% or something like that, yeah. Yeah, I think it's like 1.3% or whatever it is, like difference. Yeah. But I think we always talk about it. I don't think possession really matters in games, to be honest. I just think it's about the key moments in games that you have to just produce in. A team can have as much possession as you like, whether it's in their own half. I mean, to be fair, if you look at the possession, majority of teams normally keep the ball in their own half, and then that counts as possession to me. So they can have you can have all the possession in the world, but you don't really do many things with the ball when you're attacking. So it just depends. It just depends. I don't really look at possession. When you look at the stats, you don't really look at possession. You look at big chances, big moments in the games, key big chances. Have you put them away? And then do they get you goals? That's all you got to look at, really. Possession doesn't really matter.
Possession's an afterthought, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But we do struggle to break sides down that when we have a lot of the ball. And Dan, it'd be good to get your thoughts, mate, because obviously we've just gone through their defensive stats as well. They do concede a lot of goals. Is that something that should give us a little bit of confidence on the weekend?
Yeah, it should. It should, because, like I say, I've noticed watching Hull a few times this season. Like I say, in defence they're quite slow. Like their centre backs are quite slow, and we've got some fast attacking players. So, like I say, you've got Femi Aziz. Even, like I say, whoever he plays as number 10, you could either have Langstaff, Negley, and, like I say, we use that pace as an advantage to get in behind them. But yeah, like I say, Hull's a difficult team to break down anyway, because, like I say, they like to do what we do. They like to sit back a bit and let other teams have the ball. And like you said, when we have the ball a lot, sometimes we struggle with what to do, like in ourselves. Like, we don't know what to do with the ball. We'd rather have someone coming at us and have all possession, and then we break on their counter attack, like we've done quite a few times this season. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be a difficult game, but I still think Hull's there for the taking. Like I say, the amount of injuries they've got, they haven't got their full strength like they probably did when they played us at home, our ground, sorry. But yeah, it's an hard one. But like I say, it all comes down to who wants it more on the day, and yeah. So, like I say,
we saw that against Portsmouth, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think we have to take confidence from the fact that this is a side that we can get at, and we've actually gone away to a very similar side, stylistically wise, in terms of Preston and Wrexham in recent weeks, and got results away from home. So you like to think that we're going into it in a good run of form, confident, resilient, that we can make things happen. And you have to look at a side with that many injuries and think, right, actually, we're gonna take the game to them. They did the exact same thing to us. They took the game to us, scored early, and then got a quick second, and then the game was gone. I think we've got to be looking to do the same thing. I'm not saying it'll be easy. We watched them against Ipswich, and they defended well, like low possession, low block, got men behind the ball, but they frustrated Ipswich for large periods of the game. I don't think we can let them do that. I don't think they'll be able to do that at home. I don't think home fans are quite allowed the same approach. But I look at the stats and I think we can do something. I think we can make something happen there. And you'd like to think that Hull are a side that score, they don't create many chances, they just score the chances they do get. We have got the best back five, including the goalkeeper, in the Championship. So we've got to be looking at that going, right, I back these boys that actually they won't score because they won't get one single chance all game. We'll handle them. Football's never quite as simple as that on paper, do you know what I mean? It's never that easy. But you'd like to think that with the injury they've got, the form we're coming into the game in, that we're confident. And I think that's what's important.
Yeah, I can't see them having. I can see them having more possession than us on the day.
Yeah,
I think they'll have to.
See,
they'll
have to. I mean, if you look at it, like, obviously it's a big game for both teams. Like, there's only 2 points between the two teams. I can see them both teams coming out the blocks quick because they want to try and get in front. But considering Hull's the home team, I can see them having more possession than us in the game, because I just think they'll bring the game to us and keep more possession. But like you said, I think that they're good on the counter as well. I think that's another thing that I've forgot to mention. They're very good on the counter. So if we do get up the pitch with a set piece or a corner, they are very good at, they've got the players to, counter us and cause some problems. So it's going to be interesting for sure.
No, it will be interesting. It's gonna be a tricky game, right? But I think for me, I'd be interested to get both of your guys' opinions on this. And because I was thinking about it before we went on there, I'm almost looking at this fixture thinking, if we win on Saturday, I think we're as good as done. I think playoffs are then guaranteed, almost. I think we'd have such a good buffer between us and the likes of Hull, Wrexham, and then whoever's 7th, 8th, 9th beyond that. This was put up such a stake in the ground, right? If we can go away again and get another big 3 points, I'd then really back us. I don't know what your thoughts are, Callum.
Do you know what? I hate these questions. I hate these questions because I just think of it as a Millwall fan, and nothing's ever easy, is it, for us lot? But no, you are right. The buffer is
Scars of that, Dan, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's just I don't like to mention it, but the Blackburn game just comes to my mind straight away, like when playoffs are in the mention.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you are right though. I think the buffer between us and the teams that are trying to chase the playoffs is going to be quite huge. But there is quite a few games to go where we could drop points in. So you never know. I think if we do win, we have got a very good. I think we will be in there. I do believe that now, sitting here, that we will get in there anyway if we don't win. So I just think that the performances this season have just been so good. I mean, just in general, we've been absolutely unbelievable this season. And I think I read the thing the other day is we've got more points than we did like the end of last May. I think we had already 62. Yeah. We had 62 last May when we finished, and we've now got 66. And we're only in Feb or March, where we're in March now. So
early March,
it's a massive difference. So I think we're set to. I think we're set, mate. But I can't say too soon because you know what we're like.
Yeah, you never want to count. You never want to count your chickens yet, I guess. But no. I mean, Dan, what's your thoughts? I think for me, it's one of them where, without putting too much pressure on the boys, I don't want to say it's like a. It's not. This isn't a cup final. I think Alex Neil touched the other day. We can't approach every game like a cup final because the season's not over if we lose. But if we win, I think we can then look at the rest of the season with a hell of a lot of confidence.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Obviously, like I say, if we get a win on Saturday, it's another stepping stone towards securing that playoffs. But like you say, it's the Championship. Anyone could beat anyone, you know. And obviously, as you see, some of the likes of the teams below us, like you see Southampton, where they struggling they were at the beginning of the season, and to where they are now. I think they're 8th now, 9th, something like that. I'm still a bit anxious about it because, like I say, teams think. But like I say, if we get 3 points and it's a stepping stone to get securing. But like I say, we've still got to play teams around us. Like we got obviously Ipswich, Middlesbrough as well. So it's a difficult run-in for us, but we just have to wait and see. But I still think we'll get playoffs by the end of the season anyway.
If we don't, I think it's time to jack it in because we'll definitely finish 9th next season if we don't. So let's not worry about that.
Can we not? Yeah, can we not?
Yeah, that's next year's problem.
Let's not do that. Yeah, let's not do that now. Let's not do that.
All right, okay. So moving us on to our final segment, which is our start 11s and our score predictions. I'm going to go first here, boys. I've made one change to our team that beat Preston on the weekend. Keep Patterson in goal. Think Leonard's done more than enough to stay out to keep his spot at right back. I'd stick with Crammer and Cooper at centre back. The big reason I'd want to stick with them two, even if Taylor is fit, is I've said it twice now, but I think Crammer going into centre back gives him a little bit of a buffer against these quick, tricky wingers, which is the reason he hasn't had a yellow card in his last 2 games. And obviously, I think he's only got 1 more game to get through, and then his yellow cards are wiped, I believe. Might be 1 more after that, but we're certainly getting closer. So stick with them. I'd bring Alfie Doughty in at left back. The reason for that is, and Callum, you touched on it earlier, I want us to see attack on the left-hand side more. And I think having some natural width out there, and with Alfie Doughty's delivery, I think we can sort of make use of that wing. And and that could be a bit of a difference maker for us. We need to get at Hull is my takeaway from looking at the stats and stuff. So I think bringing him back in would go a long way to do that. Keep Casper Denor, keep Billy Mitchell. Aziz has to stay out right wing. At the minute, you can't take Langstaff out of 10 position. He's been so effective in there. Negley out left, and Josh Coburn is just getting better and better every week at the minute. So he has to stay up top. So yeah, one change for me. And I think we're going to get revenge for the home game. I think we're going to win 3-1, which will be a little bit sweet. So Callum, over to you, mate. What's your start 11 or what's your score prediction?
Yeah, so I've actually changed mine. Okay. I had it set yesterday, and I've changed it slightly, but I think I've done one change as well. Actually, no, I've got two changes. So I've gone Patterson in goal. I'm going to go Ryan Leonard on right back. I'm going to go Kramer and Cooper keeping their places. I'm going to, again, like you, I'm going to put Alfie Doughty at left back for that attacking down the wing. I'm going to keep Billy and Caspar in the middle. I'm going to put Femi Aziz on the right. Langstaff in the 10. And I'm gonna go for it. I think we should go for it. I'm gonna put Tommy Watson on the left. And people might not like me saying this, but I would drop Negley and put Coburn up top.
You've been listening to Charlie too much, mate. What's happened there?
No.
It's got in your head.
No, I just think we just got to go for it. We've got to go for it. I know he works hard. I don't think he will. I think he'll start anyway. But I just think unless you take out Langstaff and put Negley in the 10, which I'm not afraid of putting him in the 10, Negley.
He hasn't done very well there when he has played there, to be fair.
No, he hasn't. But you think about the work rate that he's got, and he can work back with Billy and Caspar. Wouldn't be a bad shout, to be fair. So yeah, I'm gonna go for that. People might not like me saying that, but I don't know. I just think we should just go for it. I think Watson deserves a go. I know he came on. He started. I think what was the last game he started? Was it what game was it? Portsmouth game? Yeah, and obviously that didn't go down as well. But I thought he did really well
that game.
I think he played well. I think he just needs. I think this is the game where he needs to start and show what he's worth for us moving forward. I don't think he's got the opportunity as such yet. I think he needs to get a start and show him what he's about. But yeah, I'm going to go for that. And I'm going to go score prediction. Going to go 2-1.
Nice. To Millwall, I assume.
To Millwall, yes. Yeah, we're not going to get beat 2-1. No, of course not. No, 2-1 Millwall.
Do you know what? I don't think I've ever heard anyone predict Millwall lose on any of these shows yet. So the first person to do that's a very brave man.
Nope.
Joel, mate, it's an interesting one, as you said, about making the change and stuff. And I do think, and you see this a lot on Twitter, when you say you make a change to 11, it seems to be like there's a massive adverse reaction. So, you can't change your winning side. You can't change your winning side. If you think you've seen something tactically where we can get an edge, or you think someone looks tired, you absolutely can. Do you know what I mean? You can change your winning side. We're not talking about changing 11 players. You've changed 2. That's more than reasonable. That's what you got the squads for.
Yeah, the thing for me is, listen, I mean, we all know what Charlie, I mean, it's funny you said Charlie, because obviously we know what Charlie makes of Negley anyway, boys than we, but I know he works hard for the team, and I love him. I think he's been great for us, don't get me wrong. I just think that on the left-hand side, I think me and Charlie said this with Jay on the last video that we did on the cool down against Preston. He doesn't give output attacking wise, which is a problem for me if you're sticking him on the left. I think that you need a player like Tommy Watson on the left that can obviously, you see what he did at Sheffield Wednesday. He came on, got us in a good.
He's a moments player, as he makes things happen.
Yeah, I just think, I said it earlier, that this game is going to be about moments, big moments in the game.
Yeah.
So I think Tommy Watson deserves that opportunity to show what he's got in this game, and just give Negley a rest. I mean, but it's a big game, so he probably will start 9-0.
Dan, what's your thoughts, mate? Any changes for you, or you can go same 11 as the win against Preston?
I was thinking of doing the same 11, but then thinking about it over like what you used to have said about the left back. I think Sturge has been great, but thinking with adding Alfie Doughty to the thing, it gives you that more options of going forward, and like I say, you've got more options of getting the balls into the box for us. So I would
100%.
I would actually make the change and take. Obviously, I know, like I say, Sturge has been great for us, but I'll keep Patterson in. Obviously, Leonard right back, Kramer, Cooper centre back, and then I'd have Doughty on the left, and then I'll have in midfield, obviously, Casper Denor and Billy Mitchell. Of course, on the right is Femi Aziz. I'll have Langstaff as the number 10. I think he's been great for us, and he gives us that extra man cover in midfield of tracking back and obviously put his body on the line. And I'd stick Negley on the left. I think that, like I say, he's been great for us as well. And obviously Coburn, since coming back from injury, he's been phenomenal for us. So I'd have him up top. Score predictions, I think
Coburn's been outstanding, hasn't he? Since he come back in after that injury, he got 2 quick goals. He looks a complete different player, doesn't he, mate?
He does. He looks like a complete different player. And like I said, I know Coburn he misses the sitters and everyone goes mad at him for doing that. But people got to look at the things he does off the ball when he isn't scoring goals, like his hold up ball and his aerial, his physicality of holding the ball up for all of us to go forward, or even trying to make them late runs behind the defence, to cause the gaps for the likes of Femi Aziz to get more into the game and Langstaff. So yeah, I'll have him. Obviously, he's been great. I don't think if you was to put Ivanovic in there, it'd be great for us because, like I say, he gets us goals inside the 18-yard box, but physicality-wise, he'd get out-muscled by the centre-backs of Hull, I think. So yeah, I'd go with Coburn up top. And my score prediction, I think, would be 2-0 to Millwall.
You've calmed right down after last week's ambitious 4-0, mate. What's happened there?
Yeah, I know. No, you got to have one of those games, didn't you, where you think you're going to win one of those. Who thought we would have gone to play Birmingham and won 3-0 at home against Birmingham? You know what I mean?
Absolutely no.
Who knows? You never know. It'd be great if
fair enough, mate.
1-6-0. But
we'll take it. I couldn't care less, so we could win 1-0.
I'd still be happy.
I think we'd all take that now, wouldn't we?
As long as we get the win, that's all that matters.
No, that's it. But boys, that's us done. This has been your Hull City pre-match warm-up. Guys, as always, if you've enjoyed the show, please give us a like and subscribe. And once again, make sure you get your comments down below, join the conversation. Let us know your start 11s. Let us know what you think of Hull tactically and where you think we can benefit in the key matchups. Thank you once again for tuning in. This has been the 1885 show. See you on the next one.